So here's some heartbreaking news. Facebook has bought Oculus VR, the company behind the Oculus Rift virtual reality headset system that was kind of tearing up the technology world, over the last year or so. Ever since their Kickstarter, where they raised £2 million, they've really been on a tear, bringing in some of the best minds, really, like John Carmack from id Software. They've been getting some help from the guys at Valve as well. And unfortunately now Facebook has bought them for, about $2 billion. Yeah, cue finger towards side of mouth. Ultimately, what Facebook are trying to do here is prevent anyone else from buying this technology. It's a moonshot, because they don't really develop their own moonshots like Google does. Instead, what they do is they wait for someone to create something they think will be leveraged in the future, and they buy it. Really, the question here is, what is Facebook thinking long term? Well, a lot of this really is, in the short term, a focus on gaming. That has to be the way forward. If they want this technology to be adopted, they're going to have to carry on with the plan that Oculus VR had there, which was to launch this for gaming by 2015. Long term, 3, 5, 10 years in advance of ourselves, ultimately Facebook thinks here that it can grab a slice of the technology which will drive the next generation of the interactive web. Personally, I'm skeptical. I don't actually think the next generation of the virtualized web is going to look anything like Oculus Rift, or even have Oculus Rift style interfaces as the way forward. It just feels a little bit too far-fetched, and there's just a bit too much work to do to actually get us to that point. Now, eventually, sure, we will have virtual worlds, we'll stick in our goggles, it'll all be a little bit like Caprica, but I don't think we're going to see quite a revolution in that way. This idea of full immersion and browsing and walking around virtual worlds, we saw it with Second Life. It didn't work. It doesn't work. It's a jarring kind of experience, and ultimately this means Facebook must be having to work on a software layer as well, a virtualized Facebook, a 3D virtual world for itself. That's a kind of scary prospect in itself. For my mind now, we need a third company to enter this race. Valve, we are all now looking at you to save us, basically, because otherwise there's only going to be two options. The Facebook route, Oculus, and the Sony route, which will be obviously most likely locked to PlayStation 4 and potentially some of Sony's other products. But ultimately, we now need a third way. We need another company to really enter the market with its technology, and the only one I'm aware of, because they helped the guys at Oculus, is Valve. So guys, what do you think? Is this a great move for Facebook, a great move for Oculus? If you were a backer of the original Kickstarter, do you feel a little hard done by? Where do you feel this is going to leave Facebook and VR technology generally? For my mind, we now need a third way.